lento yenzeka khona lapha endlini. Oyedwa wabo wenza lento khona lapha endlini. uTumelo benomthoko ayimfethu into engayisho nje yabona uTumelo indlela ayizwana ngayo noSenzo wahleze ethi yena ngamfela uSenzo but ziningi izinto ezenzeka after uSenzo ashona lapha because uTuba bamthatha bamyisa enyangeni. I believe ukuthi awala uTuthu nje akuyena uDulo simbonayo uTumelo wangempela wayezolikhuluma iqiniso.
Do you think that
esekhuluma ngalabantu manje lokho kwangidida ngiyacabanga ukuthi lento ngathi izodinga upresident uzofanele ukuthi angenelele ngoba manje iboard yakhe kuthiwa yini icabinet yakhe manje umphakathi waseSouth Africa uzongayithembi ngoba manje uminister wayekade ethe labantu wayekade hambisana nathi yazi ukuthi ubani wenze lento uyazi naye uyazi lokho angifihla manje waqhamuka sethi labantu abawu5 kanjani angazi nominister khona abamsabisa ngayo mhlawumbe bamsabisa nga something angazi mhlawumbe khona abathi bazomenza yona angazi.
Yeah, ekuphatha kanjani?
I'm very strong because I believe in God. I'm a man of God and I don't fear anyone. Khona babe ngitshela ethweni bathi yeke le case yeke vele umfona ngasekho ngithi mina hayi kwathatha ukuthi uJesu afi ukuze thina sisindiswe nami ukuthi fanele ngife ukuze lecala livele kunjalo. I believe in God. I have a strong relationship with God. I don't fear any man even ngathiwa upresident uyini ipower ngisabi.
Ucabanga ukuthi laba ocabanga ukuthi yiba abayenzile lento bazoboshwa noma ucabanga ukuthi nje I never yenzakala lento?
Bazoboshwa sizozama ukwenza indlela ukuthi sikwazi ukudila nalamaphoyisa ukuthi so sizama ukuthi angifuna ukukhuluma kakhulu but sizokwenza indlela ukuthi sidile nalabantu ababophe abantu abangekho nokuthi kanjani ukuthi umuntu ewususpect kuleli cala kodwa aqhubeka investigate icase. Iloko sifuna ukudila nabo ukuthi fanele baphume labantu ngoba oyedwa wabo ususpect wakhipha something ku docket. I was expecting the court to release these 5 suspects because they are not involved. Not even one of them is involved. The police are just lying. They are making us I don't want to use a bad word.
Yeah.
But
Why do you say that?
because there is evidence. There's another docket that has evidence. But bayacindezela leyo docket. Bayazi. Mina abangibheki bayazi.
Yeah.
There is evidence. Even no ministry uyazi le team le yabo le team le bophela abantu. Ifakwe vele ukuthi izocindezela icase ayizange ukuthi izosolve le case. Khona i-team ebikade isebenza icase eyayikhethwe uMinister of Police ubheka icele ngo2018 or 19. Leyo team eyisebenza icase yathi sizobopha kwafakwa laba bafakwa uNational Commissioner uKhehla Sithole bafakwa yena. Wabuza uMinister wathi nina ningene kanjani la? Wathi hayi thina solekelela. Bangena idocket eyayiphethwe laba bacele seyizongena ecourt. Le yayinobufakazi bengempela isizobopha. Basho batshela ukuthi naba sebezobopha bangena bathi hayi sinabantu abazokwenza iconfession. Kwagijinywa kwathiwa kwayiwa ngazi koMaritzburg kwathi khona umuntu ozokwenza iconfession akekho kulapho kwathi khona umuntu owenza iconfession baningi abantu ababethi bazonza ama confession kodwa abekho kulapho uzubona ukuthi amanga la they're making up this thing.
Hey Tada, we are back with another video. The page, it is South African Late News. What you just heard there, it is the voice of Sifiso Mayiwa, the voice that is fighting for justice for Senzo. He has been saying the same everything since day one. He has never changed. He is consistent with what he says. He knows that in court we've got the wrong accused. At the beginning of the video that I played, we had him saying that we've got the wrong man before court, and the court knows it. And Abo Tumelo Nomthosi Madlala are the ones that should have told the truth from the beginning, because they knew very well that who shot and analyzed Senzo Mayiwa. They know for the fact who did it. They made up this story about this intruder after they had a meeting with Udo, who shot Taxibi allegedly. Remember that before the arrival of Mosia, the crime scene was contaminated by Taxibi allegedly and the former MEC of Safety and Security, because they held a meeting in the house to come up with a plan to save someone, and that is when they came up with the intruder theory. That's when they decided to protect a certain famous person because his father is very known allegedly. we know for the fact that Begicele, when he was police minister, one of Samakubo was about to arrest the correct suspect. Then the investigators of the Sesame case were immediately changed. Why did they do so? Clearly, they did not want us to see the real shooters. They did not want us to see the real killers of Sesame. That's it. You cannot be changing and chopping investigators or in a particular case unless there's something serious. And here in this case, we know for the fact that Umakubo and Buthelezi were about to make an arrest, but then the case was taken away from them, and they afterwards they said that the case is now going to be prosecutor led, meaning that they took someone from MNPA to take over the investigation and make sure that different guys were charged instead of the real shooter. It's a sad reality. When they appeared for the first time in Boksburg, accused number 5 stood up and said, Ukininda, Lobaba Ukininda is doing wrong things. He wanted to pin the murder of Sanzumeyiwa to the Buthelezi brothers when he came to Kalagosha prison, but then he changed his mind and then decided to pin the murder of Meyiwa to us. For what reason? What have we done? That was accused number 5 speaking at Boksburg Magistrates Court when they appeared for the first time. And nobody listened to him, because once you are in the dock, you are on your own. You depend on your lawyer to defend you. However, the case now is before Judge Racha, and we can see in which direction is it going. We know now that this judge is going to find this guy guilty of shooting and unaliving Sanzumeyiwa. How so? You can see the tone in court when the defense attorneys are speaking. He's always aggressive and trying to be more confrontational, and also trying to be acting as if he's the prosecutor, but he's not. Maloyi is the prosecutor, but the judge here wants to be the judge, the prosecutor, and everything. And I think the sole mandate of Racha was to come to this case and make sure that the guilty verdict is delivered. Why would they bring on a retired judge that is known to have made mistake in the past? Remember, in the case of Umdluli and in the case of Mcebo Dlamini, he is the guy that found them guilty. But the evidence before court then was clear that the state had failed to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. If you go to the case of Mcebo Dlamini, he was found guilty for participating in the Fees Must Fall campaign, and he was singled out because I think he was the SRC president at the time. But there was no overwhelming evidence for him to be found guilty. Now Mcebo cannot be a lawyer. He was studying LLB, but now since he's got a criminal record, he cannot be a lawyer, because as a lawyer, you have to have a clean record, all because of Judge Racha. That's it. So now they bring in this judge to this case, and you hear from the beginning, Good Lomundulo, he seems to have a particular agenda, which is to work against the defense. Remember, when Mngomezulu was lawyer for accused number 1, Musibiyo, he was sick. I remember it was December 2024. He was very ill in hospital. And this judge came to court and said he saw Mngomezulu doing other cases in court, whereas Mngomezulu was sick in his deathbed. And on the following day, it was announced that Mngomezulu had died. But Racha did not even bother to apologize for saying the wrong things about Mngomezulu. So you can see this judge is working against the state. He's acting as if he's the prosecutor. So Ubaloyi is having it easy because he knows that he's got a backup, and the backup is who? It is the so-called judge, which is why these accused do not stand a chance. You may ask yourself, Futi, why was the confession made, and why was it accepted by the court? Remember on the audio that I played earlier, Sfisomiyo said there was a confession that was supposed to be made in the Pietermaritzburg High Court for this case. But luckily, in that case, the magistrate could see that the police were lying. He could see that the accused was forced to make that confession. So the accused was chased out of the court. The NPA was told to stop doing this because it's clear that this guy that was apparently making a confession, he was forced. So they were all chased away and told that the magistrate will not take such confession. So it shows that the police have tried to pin this case to different people so that they can just close it. That is their main aim, to close the case and find the guilty verdict, and then the public would believe that the case is solved. That's what they want. They want you to believe that they have obtained justice for Senzo. Whereas we know that the real shooters are still out there. They're still enjoying their lives and so on. So Siabu is tool. But hopefully, once the case has been taken to appeal in the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein, then that is where these accused will be found not guilty. I'm sure Rat is going to say they are all guilty because you can see that he has already concluded in his mind that these guys are guilty. He does not even want to listen to the evidence that was brought before court. Remember when Absalom Zungu he came to court, you could see that he was against Absalom Zungu. He did not like what Absalom Zungu was saying, so he kept on interrupting. And he got mad when Absalom Zungu said the court is corrupt. Those were the words of Absalom Zungu. And Rata said, Utini, what I was saying? I was saying I'm corrupt. Me. But then Absalom Zungu had to say, no, my lord, I didn't mean you. I apologize if I offended you. But the fact remains that Absalom Zungu had said it and he meant it. The court is corrupt because he's saying they did not call him as a witness, but his statement was read in court as if it was the gospel truth. So Bob Zungu was questioning the fact that why would Kininda speak about him, knowing very well that he never made that statement. Remember, Absalom Zungu told the court that, one, Kininda came to him and offered him a trip overseas if he testifies against accused number 1 and 2. Secondly, Kininda wanted him to sign that statement to implicate Untuli and Untans. And when Absalom Zungu refused, they kidnapped him and took him to Mpumalanga, where they forced him to sign. But Ratas seemingly was not happy to hear that statement because it is not in line with the state narrative of the intruder. So that is when I could see that with this judge, we can bring in a witness that is totally honest. The judge will still find fault in him like he did with Absalom Zungu. The same with Kwabini. You could hear when Kwabini was testifying, this judge did not like what Kwabini was saying. So he tried to find loopholes and things and faults in the testimony of Kwabini. And the same thing he did to Makosonke. I remember one thing he said about Makosonke. He said, I'm treating you like a black educated man. And if you ask yourself what he meant when he said those words, and you could see what he was not happy with what Makosonke was saying because it was not in line with the state narrative, but Chule Siabuk. And thereafter, when Ulo Ukininda was testifying in court, he allowed him to speak for 5 minutes without interruption. And when the defense tried to object, he said, no, let the witness speak. But when the defense witnesses understand, it's the total opposite. He always is trying to interject to find something wrong within the testimony. So that's the judge that we have. And you could remember when Umnisi wanted to go and run the combat marathon, and he requested a Monday off because he was going to be tired, obviously. But the judge was livid, was angry. He said, is this how black lawyers behave under a black government. I can tell you that no white advocate would have a gall to make such a request. That was Judge Alessa's words. So you could see that whenever the defense is speaking or asking for something, he's got a negative attitude towards them because he has already concluded that these guys are guilty. So Usfiso Meyiwa has also spoken out against the judge. Remember that he released an audio saying that you could see that this judge is not doing this, is doing this trial in a manner that is supposed to be conducted. So Usfiso Meyiwa will continue to fight for justice because Sazomia was his brother, and he can see that the accused that are before court are all innocent. Usfiso Meyiwa said that the confession that was taken from Ntanzi and Usbi, it was obtained because they were tortured, and Usfiso Meyiwa believed that so because he could see that the confession is not correlating. If one person confess and the other one confess, then the confession should be the same. Why is the confession of Ntanzi and CBI is different? That was the question asked, and the state could not provide answers. Remember that Musibia mentions the Buthelezi brothers, Abu Mama Kimbi and Marco, who were initially supposed to be charged, but Kinina changed his mind later on because he realized that they were in prison. So that is why their name appears in the confession of Musibia. Sibi was tortured, and then they told him to implicate the Buthelezi brothers. But Ntanzi, when they tortured him, they told him to implicate the totally different accused, which are the ones that are before court now. So you can see, Guti, the police have been playing this game for far too long, and Usfiso Meyiwa could see it, and he can't stand it. So now Usfiso Meyiwa also mentioned that Joseph Buthelezi and Makubo, they were victimized after they opened Docket 275. I remember in one interview that he had with Kakasi FM, he said Joseph Buthelezi was actually demoted from a position in the SAPS because of Docket 275. And now we know that Makubo had to obviously resign because he was being constantly harassed by the police because of Docket 275. Remember that in January 2025, the house of one of Makubo was visited by an intruder. Luckily, Makubo was not in the house on the day when the intruder came in. His son was there in the house, but he pressed the panic button, and then the two intruders ran away in a Toyota Corolla. So you can see that if you support the narrative contained in Docket 275, then your life becomes a misery. But if you support the state narrative, which is contained in Docket 636, you get a promotion. Look at Ulo Mosia. Before the Sazomia case, he was just a junior constable. But now, after he conducted the forensic work in the Moyo case, he was quickly promoted. Now he's I think he is now what you call this sergeant. He is now a sergeant. That's why he is referred to as Sergeant Mosia, as well as many others. They've been promoted from, let's see, even Gininda. Before the Moyo case, he was not a brigadier. I think he was a colonel, but because he worked so hard to find these guys in the Moyo case and implicate them, then he was rewarded. So we can see all the nonsense that goes on in the state, but we shall see New Zealand because nothing remains hidden forever. I'm hoping that the case will end quickly so that we can move over to Docket 275. But till then, Ntanzi is still in the stand. I'm sure that Balo is going to keep him there and ask him about the telephone records of 2018, 2019, where Senzo was shot and killed in 2014. So now he's asking the irrelevant question because now those things that happened after 2014 do not help us to solve the case of Meyiwa. We need to find the telephone records of 2014, not 2018 18, 19, 20, and 2021. So the state is just trying to discredit Ntanzi by asking him questions relating to information that happened after Senzo was killed. So we shall see ukuthi Baloyi ukuthi yini azoyenza, but Ntanzi is innocent. You all know that. Thank you for watching.